the Alamo and Truth Rising, it is an honor and privilege to introduce documentarian Mr. Alex Jones.
It is always humbling that so many great people come out to see my little films and care about the information I talk about and listen and are involved. And it really does humble me, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming out today here in Austin, Texas. It is one of the most ancient of conventions or rituals for like-minded people to come together and to basically inform themselves to a greater level about the state of affairs in their tribe, in their area of the world, in their village, in their kingdom, in their country. And we have become slaves, again, to a great extent because we haven't been informed, we haven't been involved in society, because we've had it good for so long. But people are rediscovering liberty and freedom. There is a greater call every day, intensifying, to legalize freedom and to turn back the control of the overarching New World Order system. And I want each and every one of you here to know that the seed of the universe really is in your soul, is in your heart, and that all of us together can make a real change in the world, like we've seen from We Are Changing Others. And I don't mean a Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or John McCain type phony establishment change. I mean real change from the bottom up. And the establishment knows that and is very, very concerned. Just last week on the radio, I had the head of the Kissinger Group, one of the top guys, the Carnegie Endowment. These are the people that really organize and govern our planet and that set up the strategies for the social architecture that we live in. And during the break, I was talking to him before he went on air. I said, "Thanks for coming on, sir." He started laughing at me. And I said, "Why are you laughing?" He goes, "Look, don't act friendly. I know who you are." And I said, "You know who I am?" He goes, "Yeah, we know who you are. That's why I'm coming on this show, is to counter you." And he started cackling at me, and then he went on air and put on his nice guy act. But John, the fellow around the show in Minnesota, he did hear it. And while that's chilling, because this is a very, very wicked group, the Kissinger Group, it's also very, very exciting to know that the highest levels of the World Crime Syndicate, their policy wonks and their policy makers, the real people behind the throne that are setting the policies that have been given the power by the owners of the planet to carry out their New World Order, are aware of what we are doing. And they wouldn't be aware of what we're doing if it didn't endanger their world monopoly of control, and if it didn't threaten their attempt to set up this world dictatorship. And so know this, the enemy is fully aware that truth on every front is rising. Bring it up to me on message boards and emails and phone calls and friends and family. Why are you still alive? And we know there's a world government. We know they're setting up a police state. We know they're building FEMA camps. You talked about it a decade ago, but now it's in the news. But why are you still alive? And that's because if they kill me, it legitimizes everything I've talked about, everything I've said, everything I've put forward. They've gotten more sophisticated than they were in past days. And they would just hope to minimize what I'm talking about, what I'm doing. But even if they do imprison me, set me up, kill me, that doesn't matter, because the idea of liberty and freedom didn't start with Alex Jones. It didn't start with Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther King. It didn't start with George Washington. It didn't start with Jesus Christ. It didn't start with any of those individuals. The idea of liberty and freedom has always been beating in the human heart and the human spirit since God put it in us when we were created. And that's why the establishment is so afraid of us. Because they know that we are creators. What we envision, what we imagine, we are able to construct and build. And they're afraid because there's a true renaissance of technology and ideas and information. And they want to try to clamp down on that and control the future and wall off the mass of humanity in a type of frozen technological system inside of a police state control grid, while the elite goes forward and enjoys all of the newfound technologies for life extension, learning, exploration. And they want to use the great systems and technologies that have been developed by our fellow men and women to enslave us. We need to use the technologies we have to break down the control mechanisms that they're more and more trying to lock down around us every single day. I remember 11, 12 years ago really getting into government-sponsored terrorism and learning that there were all these declassified examples of where our government and other governments had staged terror attacks, staged military attacks as a pretext for war and control and domestic clampdowns. And that's why when I, of course, had stayed in Oklahoma City and the first World Trade Center attack in '93, clearly, admittedly, government operations, and now that's all come out. I saw the media preparing the public, the controlled corporate press, saying big terror attacks are coming. And when those big terror attacks come, give up all of your liberty, give up all of your freedom. The military is going to be on the street. We're going to arrest people that disagree with the government. We've got to do this for your safety. And I saw them introduce bin Laden and say, he's going to get you. He's soon coming. And when he attacks you, you're going to give up all your rights to us. And I went on air and I said, my God, ladies and gentlemen, they're preparing you like a Jim Jones Kool-Aid drinking drill, that when you get attacked, you drink the Kool-Aid of tyranny. And they say that Osama bin Laden, the known CIA asset, attacked us because he hates our freedom. But that's a weird little lawyer inside joke with the establishment. They do that a lot. It's true. They did attack us. The New World Order did attack us because they hate our freedom. Because if they can totally enslave us, they can use us as a battering ram, as an engine, as a power plant to drive and energize their New World Order while they raise our taxes and destroy our dollar and destroy our name internationally. Then these global corporations, these Fortune 100, can move on from there after they have used our name, our energy, our strength by misdirecting us against innocent organizations and groups that they wanted to take over. Then in the end, we are now being seen as criminals, as I said we would be almost 7 years ago on 9/11. I said, you watch. We'll go into Iraq. We'll be there forever. We're going to this country, that country. We're not going to leave, and the U.S. will be blamed. How did I know? PNAC and Dick Cheney said that was the plan. It's not hard to understand what's going to happen next because these arrogant bastards know the average American, the average person across the world, doesn't read and research their own white papers, their own documents, their own admissions. And when you really start to read it, you see the arrogance and the hubris. But for the first time in my lifetime studying these people and talking to many others who've been fighting them 50, 60 years and together for hundreds of years, if you add up all these people that have been fighting them that I talked to, like G. Edward Griffin involved since '59, and countless others that have been involved 30, 40, 50 years. They say they've never seen an awakening this big, and the establishment, again, is losing that arrogance. But that makes them even more dangerous. All over the nation now, they're randomly stopping citizens. It says checkpoint, and they come up with needles and stick them in you and suck your blood out. Again, doing that to push the envelope, doing that to see how far, how much you will put up with, putting it on the news, crossing that threshold. Florida just passed a law where if you go 30 miles over the speed limit, you get 10 years in prison. All of this is happening. They are admittedly lobbying the private prisons for stricter laws on the general public to fill their prisons. And there's example after example after example of these type of police state crackdowns. A major police chief in the suburb of Boston just 2 weeks ago told the Associated Press and ABC News, he said, we wear black uniforms and ski masks to intimidate you. He admitted what we've always known. Why have the feds been paying for grants to dress our police like this? I saw one of the Chicago deputy chiefs last night on Chicago television. I was watching a clip online, and he said, yeah, this is basically, we've got a war going, and this is to intimidate people, and we're now going to put basically most of our officers in SWAT uniforms to be roving around. When this is the city, of course,